2022, unanticipated assistance from PACE with our right to take look.
Yeah, we were going to start January 1st, 2022, and it's just getting to us now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, this is outside of the $200,000.
It's outside of the $200,000, so we'll have to work out with our accounting and PACE's accounting if we'll just do a credit for the remainder of the year to work down that $144,000, because we get invoiced every month for our portion of right to pay. So whether they issue a credit or they just give us a check, we'll have to figure that out. I'll have to.
Okay.
But it does reduce our general fund obligation for right to page by $100,000.
Okay, excellent. All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. Take a motion on FYR 25822 resolution acceptance appropriation of income eligible retrofits program FY22 $787.
Second.
$787,064. A motion and a second. Mary, can you give a little staff comment on this one, or Dave?
I'll let Dave do it.
Sure. So first, the delay with the dates, you're probably wondering about, same kind of thing, January 1st to December. It was under legal review. They changed some of the language in the agreement this year, and so we had to run it through the state's attorney, and that caused a little bit of a delay. But this is basically just allows us to spend more per job on our weatherization grants. So we get state weatherization money. This money comes from the utilities. They're required to spend a certain amount of money on reducing energy usage in homes. And so it just really allows us to do more per job. We always do a combination of state funds and utility funds. And typically we do all of these kind of jobs in the second half of the year, so the delay is not. Because I know it's strange signing an agreement that's June 21st, now we are, and it started January 1st. But typically these jobs are all done in the latter half of the year.
Great. Home weatherization assistance to increase energy savings is one thing. So thank you. Any questions or comments here? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. I'll take a motion FYR 26122 resolution acceptance appropriation of additional funding and contract extensions through September 30th, 2022 for LIHEAP state grant $178,000 for community services. We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments here? All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Take a motion on FYR 25922 resolution. This is also an additional appropriation for human services emergency solutions grant PY22, increasing from basically increasing $186,635 community services. With motion and second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Entertain a motion on HHSR 260-22 approval of insurance and payments for DuPage County to energy assistance providers for LIHEAP FY22 $153,080. Second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Take a motion on HHSP 195-22 recommendation for approval of county contract to Benovate DBA Neighborly Software to support the grant application and management process of the Community Development Division.
So moved.
This covers July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. The first option of 3 one-year renewals, $45,000. We need a motion in a second. I did have a question on here. Was this ARPA initially? This item, it never was.
No. This is the software that we use to run all of our community development grants as well as our continuum of care program.
Okay.
So this is not an ARPA item. This is just our regular CDBG, ESG, a number of different funds support this.
Okay. Missed you because of Juneteenth yesterday. So, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. All right. Moving on to the Care Center. I'll take a motion to approve HHSR 26222 resolution recommendation for approval of internship affiliation agreement with DuPage County and Chamberlain University for the establishment of Learning Safety Care Center. We have a motion and a second. Questions here?
Yes. I do. I was wondering how I don't know. No, online or how was Chamberlain? Hi, Janelle. How was Chamberlain chosen? And do we have this reciprocal agreement with other universities in the area?
Chamberlain has been the program that we've utilized for quite a few years here. So to go back and say who was originally or how that process, I think it was just more those that were interested. We've had more than one school come for whether it's a CNA program or a nursing program. So it's that those that show interest is how it's been identified in the past.
And I asked this, Janelle, because we have seen challenges in hiring CNAs and nursing staff and that sort of thing. Once we train them through this program, what's the percentage of retention?
You know, we haven't been able to do the program, remember, to start for how many years now because of COVID. But prior to that, I mean, we did have a pretty successful rate, actually even prior to my starting. But then we saw a change in the hospitals, and the hospitals started hiring new grads where they didn't before. So a lot of them end up going to the hospitals.
So we're having I'm just going to interrupt. We're having a hard time hearing you in the room.
I'm so sorry. Bring it closer.
Anyway, thank you. It answers my question. I'm just thinking this sounds like a great program to be able to have students go through this program and then we can hire them. And I don't know if that's how it works. Or
great that it exposes them to this environment. Because the hospitals, obviously, they have a very hectic environment too. And so having been through the long-term care rotation, we tend to see and we hope to see more people come back into, nurses come back into the long-term care side and not just the acute care side.
You know, we can hear you a little bit better, but it's still
I will get on
Charlie Brown's teacher.
So we'll just move.
Okay. All right. Well, great. I think a pipeline is great. I know you've been working on this for a couple of years. I know when I was on HHS several years ago, this was something that was going on. So great. All right. So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. I'll take a motion on HHSP 18622, recommendation of approval contract to Warehouse Direct for hand soap personal care items for the Care Center, June 29, 2022 through June 28, 2024, not to exceed $68,813.54. A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes. I'll take a motion on a change order HHSP 01098A-21, amendment to resolution HHSP 109-21, Cisco Chicago for primary food supplies and chemicals for the Care Center and the rest of the campus to extend contract through November 30th, 2022, and to increase encumbrance in the amount of $501,500.
A second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any questions here? Janelle, do you want to just tell us a little bit about this?
No, we're talking.
Let's try this again. We're testing.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
That makes it better.
And wasn't it great? It's a lot better. How about this? Is that better? Okay.
Yes.
So I've been we worked with procurement on this, and so I'm going to use some talking points to describe. So for the procurement under this item, we received 3 bids in response to this bid number. Pricing received varied between the vendors, and there was a significant variation. So upon further discussion, it was noted that specifications were not clearly defined in the bid process. So therefore, procurement recommended we review each item as we prepare and release a revised bid with a change in production specifications. So when we got all these bids, the apples and apples did not match.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. I will take a motion on change order to extend the contract issued to Fox River Foods, DBA Performance Food Service, to provide secondary food supplies to the Care Center through November 30th, 2022 to allow for rebidding and transition time. There was no change in contract total.
Second.
Motion and a second. I do have a question. So is this connected with the previous item then? This particular one, Janelle?
I would say yes, because we also would need to extend our secondary vendor then too.
Okay, we're losing you again. You got a little weaker there. But...
in the room? I'm not sure why. It's weird.
Chairman's here, yeah.
Chair, we have some.
Oh, yeah. Oh, procurement's here.
Standpoint, I should speak to that.
Yes, please come up here. Thank you.
No problem. Morning. Our previous year's contract, we had a primary food vendor. However, their union went on strike. Their truck drivers for Cisco. And since that time, we've always had a secondary food supplier on contract. So this is, yes, to continue the same amount of time allowable for Cisco, but we also want to keep our secondary one in line with our primary.
So this is the secondary. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Yes.
So the starting contract value is $50,000, and this new contract value is $50,000. My question is, and it's not a big deal, but this is broken up between the Care Center, the 421 Cafe and the 505 Cafe.
Correct.
So some of this money should be, I'm wondering why the care center is being charged for all of this when it should be split, you know, 3 ways. Like public works should be voting on the 421 Cafe and the 505 Cafe. It would seem to be. Nick.
So hello, it's all related to the care center because they run the facilities or the cafeterias and they make all the profits. It's a profit center for them. So that's why they will staff and they supply the 421, and then whatever is made here goes to their operations.
Oh, I never knew that. So the care center staffs this cafeteria and the one in the judicial building? Correct. Cool. All right. Thank you. No. Thank you, Chairman. Chairman.
Very consistent sandwiches. So, all right. And this calls for a roll call vote.
Okay, Member Chaplin?
Aye.
Member Dessert?
Aye.
Member LaPlante?
Aye.
Member Solomon?
Aye.
Chair Renahan?
Aye. Thank you. That passes. We have, I'll take a motion. We have one request for overnight travel for the finance accountant to attend PY 2023 Energy Systems Policy and Procedures Workshop for YGEEP in Springfield, August 15th and 16th, 2022, $435.40. Okay. We have a motion. Did you have a second? Member Solomon, second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. I'll take a motion to combine consent items 9A, B, and C.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are combined. I'll take a motion to approve consent item 9A, healthy air, heating and air, D and C, PO 4855. 9B, healthy air, heating and air, D and C, PO 48856. And 9C, change order, Chicago United Industries, D and C, PO 4865. We have a motion to approve those. Second. Second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, those pass. I'll take a motion to receive and place on file informational item cancellation of bid 22-036 DC. We have a motion. Second.
There was nothing in the packet on this item. It wasn't in the packet at all. And because yesterday was a holiday, I didn't get a chance to call anybody because this is not in the packet.
I think procurement.
So, can we still vote on something that's not in the packet?
Yeah,
It's informational.
Informational.
Well, there was no information in the packet, so
It doesn't require a vote.
Correct. Any procurement did you want to say? Come on up and tell us, advise us on why it's canceled.
22036 DCC was the original bid for primary food services out of the care center. And as noted earlier, we are electing to cancel that bid so that we may go out with more specifications and compare vendors side by side using the same grades of food. As the bids received on the original bid, 22036, there were variants in grades. Believe it or not, there are a lot of grades in milk all the way through meat. So pricing was extremely varied to the point where we didn't think it was a responsive bid, or the bid tab didn't elaborate on how we could move forward and make a choice.
And will you tell everyone's name? Just you.
I'm Nick Etmanen. Not to take any credit here. This is a Donna Weedman's bid out of procurement, but we're a great team and we work together. So
yeah,
happy to answer any questions.
I've seen you around a lot, so I make sure everybody knows who you are. When you're working with procurement, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
So, all right. So, are we okay to vote on?
I don't think we can with OMA. Do we have a state's attorney here?
Well, yeah, we do.
So
there's nothing in the packet on this item.
If it's on the agenda, it can't be voted on. And
It's information.
information. Whether or not it's in the packet, is that packet, what is on the agenda is what goes to the public. So that's what we.
Okay, but there's nothing. It's nothing. There's literally
We did
nothing.
it the same way in tech a couple months ago when we had a cancellation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we have a motion and a second on this? Second. Thank you. I'll take a motion to receive and place on file informational item cancellation of bid 22036 DCC with motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm going to abstain.
Fair enough. Residency waivers, we have none.
Correct.
All right, thank you. All right, Janelle, thank you. DuPage Care Center update.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. A COVID update. We currently have 2 units that are on quarantine due to potential risk of exposure from positive staff. So 2 East has 12 more days of quarantining, and 1 North has 7 more days. We do not and have not had any resident positive cases. Any questions on COVID? No. Okay. We did hold a booster clinic, and we'll be able to get you those numbers soon for the number of residents and the percentages, as well as staff. So Duolasco came in and their process was very efficient. And so they came in and held that booster clinic for us. Okay. Today, we're meeting with the direct care staff related to the care center renovation project. We're meeting with them to review the cabinetry specifications. We already kind of have the residents' input. They want as much space as possible. So we look at the cubic feet they have and how we can modify the cubic feet in the renderings, and also get a space for a larger TV, because the TVs were only 19 inches. And we have a lot of space issues with where to put TVs in the resident rooms. So we also wanted the staff's input, because they work within those drawers, putting laundry away, you know, how are things stored versus clean clothes, and then those that are needing to be washed. So we're meeting with the direct care staff today. We have a couple options for them, and it's been great to work with the architects to really kind of send them back to the drawing board and try and achieve this space that the residents really would like to have. So more to come on that. When we get this done, then I will be coming to you with renderings of the project rooms. All right, any questions on that?
Any questions from the committee? Hey, Janelle, what's going on with the visitation of the residents? Are they getting to see their relatives and their everyone?
Yeah, so the guidance from IDPH changed some time ago, that it doesn't really matter what outbreak status we're in, we allow visitation. Now you'll see from our messaging, and there's been times when we've really had a sudden uptick, that we will actually do a blast out to families to kind of ask them, we know you want to come, but please don't. So we've done that, but they are allowed to still have visitation. It's just a type of visitation for the different units, and even those that would be a positive resident would still have a right.
And their group meals, their community meals continue? Yeah,
that ebbs and flows based on the number. We have units that are under quarantine. So we still try and do the group activities as much as we can. But those units that are under quarantine should not be participating in those events.
Great, well, thank you for all you do, Janelle.
I have one more item.
Oh,
I just want to do a thank you to procurement. Working with the team throughout the last few challenges and items, they have really been excellent to work with, and that's Donna and Valerie. And I'm sorry, the gentleman that was there, I could not hear. Thank you. So it's been a pleasure to work with them all on this. They've been a great help, so I just want to thank them.
Oh, and you wanted to give a plug for the golf outing too, right?
Absolutely, golf outing Thursday.
Hey, still time to sign up.
Yep.
It's the last day, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought we could make room though.
I'm sure.
All right, great, thank you. Thanks, Janelle.
Yep. Thank you.
Moving to community services, Mary Keating.
Thank you. I just wanted to comment a little bit more on the Community Transformation Partnership grants. You know, the 18 grants for $1.1 million is, first of all, that's our sort of what we're calling our immediate intervention program. And, you know, when you look at the number of grants and the dollar amount, we're really getting to that place where these are impact grants. You know, we're not dealing with grants of $3,000, $4,000. We're dealing with, you know, significant, so that agencies can hire staff or purchase large quantities of food and items for food pantries. So I'm really excited about the outcome. I'm also thrilled that just right at 50% of the money is going towards behavioral health, substance abuse, which we know is such a huge area of need after from the pandemic. We have moved on to looking at the transformational grants. Those are the grants that we're looking for agencies to have sort of big, bold ideas, things that will really transform the way that they deliver services or the populations that they're able to serve. So we had our first meeting yesterday to review the letters of intent. We're in the process of deciding how many of the letters of intent we will move on to the application stage. That process worked really well with the immediate intervention so that we got enough information to decide if we wanted to move an agency forward or not. Really saves everyone some time so that if an agency has an idea that's clearly not eligible or just for whatever reason doesn't kind of check the right boxes, they're not then required to go through the whole application process. The total amount for the letters of intent for the transformational grants was over $14 million. Remembering that we've already given out 1.1, this is a 5-year program and a total of 10 million. So obviously we're significantly oversubscribed on the transformation grants, but we anticipated that. I have to say I have been incredibly impressed with DuPage Foundation's community volunteers who serve on the grants committee. These folks are incredibly knowledgeable, very committed. They ask great questions. They're really, really a tremendous asset. And I'm just thrilled with the way the partnership is working. And then finally, I think most, if not all of you received an email, I think it was this morning or last night, from an individual concerned about a family relative. That email has been appropriately referred to our ombudsman unit, so we will handle it. But just, you know, all ombudsman and adult protective services cases are 100% confidential, so I won't be able to say any more than that, but just rest assured that our staff will be on it.
Thank you. I also wanted to thank Joan Olson, because we wouldn't have $14 million in requests if the board wasn't getting out with the DuPage Foundation grants. So, you know, I think it's so great that DuPage County has worked with the foundation PR group, and I think it's really coming across as giving credit to the county and, you know, making all this information available. So good work.
Yeah, actually, yeah, can I just say one more thing? Yeah, we have a great communication partnership. The agencies are all being notified this morning of the fact that they received the grants, and they're receiving like a media kit, social media kit, making sure that they very clearly identify this as a partnership. So they're tagging the DuPage Foundation as well as DuPage County in any social media that they do, because most of the agencies will do some sort of social media post announcing the fact that they received the grant. So. And there's a press release going out.
Press release goes out later today following the notification of the nonprofits. And we do take the lead on that we don't send anything till we hear from the foundation, because we don't want to let folks know out of order. So if you don't get it till a little later today, just know that we're trying to be respectful of the agencies that will be notified.
Great, excellent. Do we have any old business? Do you have any new business? I'll take a motion to move. Second. Motion and second. All in favor? Aye. All right, great. Thank you.